Oh no, did Rod Rosenstein ghost Congress? The Deputy Attorney General was a no-show for today's meeting with the House Judiciary Committee, where he was expected to discuss reports that he wanted to secretly record the president like a junior spy. Some GOP lawmakers are calling on the committee to subpoena Rosenstein, but nobody was more surprised by his absence than the president himself.
I was surprised at that. I would think he would. He mentioned certain things to me that, are very positive about that event, and I would imagine that you'd want to put that down. And frankly, whether you were under oath or not shouldn't matter.
Right.
But he mentioned things to me that I would think would be fine for him to testify. And so, when Congress calls. So I'm a little surprised that Rod wouldn't do it.
Rod wouldn't do it. Rosenstein has previously denied the accusations. So did he intentionally stand up the committee, or was he just watching Kanye in the Oval Office like the rest of us? The panel joins me now from the Greg Gutfeld Show, where she's a correspondent and an online reporter at National Review. Kat Timpf is here, along with the Republican pollster and Maslansky and Partners President Lee Carter, and he is a criminal defense attorney making his party panel debut, David Bruno. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Yay. So, David, I will start with you since you are the resident attorney. Are you an attorney, Lee?
I am not an
Okay,
attorney.
very good. So you'll be playing the part of Perry Mason tonight.
Gotcha.
So let's discuss, because one of the reasons Rod Rosenstein might not want to go before this committee, and certainly not under oath, is because he's going to give them a totally different account when he gave the president if he's not going to perjure himself.
Sure. I mean, the statement from the president and also Rudy Giuliani's statement is that it may have been said, but it was said in jest. Mm-hmm. There are reports that came out last week that FBI General Counsel James Baker said that there are two people that were in the room that say, no, it was a very real statement.
And they memorialized the discussions.
Right.
In those those famous FBI 302s.
So he may
so much about, but never
have
get to
satisfied president, but there may be other witnesses that contradict. He may be in trouble, and by him not showing up today is an indication that there may be a problem for Rod.
Well, it's interesting because it almost seems like Rod Rosenstein feels that he has cover now, since the president gave him that reassuring conversation on Air Force One on their way to Orlando on Monday. But also, you have other people, as he's just talked about, who say, this is something that Rod Rosenstein clearly said. He didn't understand what the president was doing and felt that he was so unstable he wanted to have him removed from office. So how problematic is this politically right now?
Politically, it's problematic. I think that most people don't care that much about this issue, but it could become more of an issue depending on how it plays out. I think it's in the president's best interest right now to keep the sort of party line that he's got going right now, that I think it was a joke. It must have been said in jest. But if they could just drag it out to the midterms.
But the president, if he had gone good cop, bad cop, and allowed the oversight and judiciary committees to tear him apart a little bit on their own, that would have given the president cover to fire him.
That would have, but I think
that's a good plan, right?
It's a very good plan, but I think that people want to keep chaos out of the White House as much as possible until after the midterms. I mean, people are already speculating about what happened with Nikki Haley. I think we better not to have any moves in judiciary right now. So I think, frankly, the best move is to try and slow pedal it right now, and that seems to be what they're doing.
My biggest problem here is it still seems like Rod Rosenstein is hiding something. I feel like they're all hiding something, but especially him, because he's so deeply involved in not only the appointment of special counsel, but getting James Comey fired and signing FISA warrant applications and stuff like that.
I do not understand why he would not have wanted to go and testify and clear his name if he really hadn't done this the way he says that he hadn't done it. Maybe I don't know, the meeting wasn't that early, because I thought at first maybe he was just partying. Maybe sure. Wednesday night was a big night,
big night
hump day,
yep.
Partying, big night, couldn't make it on Thursday.
Sorry,
kind of understanding, you got to party. But you know what the only thing more important than partying is clearing your name.
That's absolutely right, Kat.
That's what I will plan to teach my children.
Then they should know that and internalize it 100%. He clearly, but if you're just being sarcastic, like even if you said it, just go ahead and
then say that.
Then say that. But you know
it's
what?
coming, though.
What's coming?
The Congress could subpoena
His comeuppance?
The House can subpoena him in front of the Judiciary Committee. I think it's
But I
coming.
think Lee's right
because-
about that. They're not going to do it before the midterm.
I know, because then it goes into the Mueller investigation. Then who's going to be the next
We're just
person?
addicted to drama. We
right.
mainline drama.
Let's wait-
President
let's
Trump
wait
is
until
getting
after.
sick of the left's new tactics. Speaking of drama, and now he's calling out Eric Holder. This after Obama's former Attorney General offering Democrats advice on how to challenge the Republican Party.
Michelle always says that, you know, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
Well, that's not nice. Holder later tweeted that he wasn't advocating violence with the whole kicking thing, but the president isn't buying it.
He better be careful what he's wishing for. That I can tell you. He's better be careful what he's wishing
What do you
for.
mean?
That's a disgusting statement for him to make. For him to make a statement like that is a very dangerous statement. You know, they talk about us. We are exactly opposite.
Democrats are very good at talking points, but are they to blame for the partisan shift that seems to keep hitting new lows? Lee, I will go to you first because Democrats are so good when they have a message, they disseminate it to all of their operatives because Eric Holder and Hillary Clinton, clearly not friends, but they're saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, I think Eric Holder, I mean, there's two things, to be fair. One, he should never have said what he did. It was a terrible thing to say. But the rest of his statement, it got cut off there. The rest of his statement said, and by kick them, I don't mean hit them.
He
I
did
mean
clarify.
go tough.
He absolutely
did clarify
did,
right
yeah.
after that. And I think it's really important we know that. The thing is, when you are a public figure, and he has been a public figure for a very long time, you know that every word you say matters and can be cut off at any time and become a soundbite. So he is responsible for what he said. That said, he didn't necessarily mean that people should go out and kick people.
Yeah.
The other thing is that these kinds of statements energize Republicans like nothing else does.
Well, that's my other question. So, you know, you have what appears to be angry protesters, Nancy Pelosi filing FOIA requests and lawsuits to get more information from Brett Kavanaugh. They're not going to stop there. They're going to stoke the foment as much as possible. And we know that it certainly energizes Democrats. Does it do the same for Republicans? Fearing the angry mob, is that a useful
I think it's super energizing for Republicans. I think it also compels Republicans to stay Republicans and continue to believe everything they believe and not listen to anything Democrats have to say. I know that if I'm hanging out and someone is kicking me, I'm not going to say, oh, wow, I would love to thoughtfully consider your views on health care and immigration. I'm thinking, why are you kicking me? That's not very nice. I don't like you at all. I'm going to keep thinking the things that I think. So not only is that not a classy
really
way,
challenging my views. No, it's I'm
it's
going to
also not very effective. It's not very effective in actually having the meaningful dialogue, the kinds of meaningful conversations that you need to have in order to actually be effective.
If someone gets kicked, can Holder get sued?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm going to try it out later.
No, but
does Holder have a shot in HE double hockey sticks for the 2020 nomination on the Democrat side?
No, absolutely not. I mean, we'll see. I mean, what do you think that primary is going to be? Do they have a stage big enough for all the Dems that are going to probably run?
Yeah, it's called the state of Wisconsin. It's going to be fascinating. You guys we're out of time, but I know. Don't worry.
First party battle.
I know, it's so cruel. But you got to come back.
Anytime.
Thank you,
You know
David,
it.
Bruno, Lee, and Kat. Great to see you guys. Thank you. Coming up.